What is going on, everybody? D Illa here. The 2022 draft is in the books. We made our selections, and now it's time for these players to come out and produce for the New York Football Giants for years to come. Overall, I was pretty happy with the draft. You know, I can't really complain. I thought they were pretty balanced throughout the whole entire draft as far as the positions that they selected. Chris Pettit was fired, one of our scouts. There was 3 other scouts that were fired. Now, I'll tell you what, to all those guys that were out there leaking information as far as the scouts go, man, you're lucky Joe Shane didn't come out and punch you square in the Muff, Cabbage, after all the crap y'all were doing. Right in the Muff, Cabbage. You're lucky you didn't get that. You're lucky you walked out of his office with nothing. You should have got punched in the Muff, Cabbage. But as far as the draft goes, you know, we drafted Wan'dale Robinson, a wide receiver out of Kentucky. I think we need to kind of temper expectations when it comes to this guy. He is a smaller wide receiver. And when we drafted him, he made me think of 2 other wide receivers that were drafted last year in 2021. He made me think of Rondale more. He made me think of Tutu Atwell from the Los Angeles Rams this past year. Tutu Atwell had about 54 yards total receiving last season for the Los Angeles Rams. And that's kind of shocking considering how much of an offensive-minded head coach, you know, Sean McVay is. You would have thought he would have been able to incorporate a guy like Tutu Atwell into that offense a little bit better than what he did, especially after the Robert Woods injury. But Tutu had never really found his place in that Los Angeles Rams offense. And as far as Rondale Moore goes, you know, he was fighting to get time behind, you know, guys like A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Zach Ertz once he got there. But he came out and made his mark here and there. He had 435 yards. He had 1 touchdown. I believe he averaged about 8 yards per reception. He caught a lot of screens in that offense. I think he may have had a couple carries while in the backfield with the Arizona Cardinals also. But I honestly think when it comes to Wan'dale Robinson, I think that's what you're going to see out of him this year. You're going to see a similar season to what Rondale Moore put up for the Cardinals. Now, I know a lot of people are expecting more than that, but like I said, just kind of temper expectations for the kid. He's not going to come out and be Deebo Samuel in his first season. Hell, Deebo Samuel doesn't even want to be Deebo Samuel anymore after what he went through this year with the San Francisco 49ers. If you recall all the reports that came out concerning Deebo Samuel and why he wanted to be traded from the San Francisco 49ers. So to ask another wide receiver that's similar to Deebo Samuel, obviously not as big as Deebo Samuel, to come out and do what he did this past season, it's going to be asking for a lot. They're going to work him into the offense slowly, and he's going to be used during certain times of the game. I don't think he's going to be a player that's out there on the field at all times for this offense. I think the guys that are going to be out there are Galladay, Shep, Kadarius Toney, and Cody Bellinger. And at tight end, obviously, you know, Ricky Seals-Jones and what's his name, Akins from the Houston Texans. That's going to be basically our starting offensive roster. You know, our starting offensive weapons out there on offense. And like I said, I think they'll kind of incorporate Wan'dale Robinson here and there to see if they can get some big plays out of him in certain times of a game. But I like Wan'dale. I think he tracks the ball well. I think he's got good closing speed on the ball when it's coming down through the air, when the ball is actually descending. Think about like when Darius Slayton dropped that pass last year from Daniel Jones. When you wish he just kind of had that last little oomph, you know, just to kind of increase his speed, to actually get underneath the pass and catch the ball instead of just having the ball bounce off his fingertips. That's what I think a guy like Wan'dale Robinson has. He can get you those couple extra yards to actually get underneath the ball and catch it cleanly. So I think he'll bring that to this offense. And honestly, I think he has something that some wide receivers need in the NFL. Well, all wide receivers need in the NFL, honestly. It's almost like having a photographic memory. You know, when a wide receiver comes out of their break and right before they turn to catch the ball, you have to look to see where the defense is actually positioned before you turn their back to them. So when you receive the ball, before you turn, you know where the defenders are. So you can actually know exactly, as soon as you catch the ball and you turn around to cut up field, you'll know where the open space is in the defense, and you'll know where to run to daylight. So I think he has that also. He seems like when he catches the ball, when he has his back turned to the defense, that he knows where to turn to basically daylight, to gain more yardage on the field for every time that he makes a reception out there on the field. Yeah, we drafted Cody Bellinger. A tight end. I can't remember exactly what school he came from. We also drafted Cordell Flott, or whatever his name was. Yeah, I had all these guys' names in my head, but I can't really recall them right now. I'm at work. It's towards the end of the day. I'm trying to put out a video really quick, just to get some content out there. But overall, like I said, we drafted a linebacker also. It's always good to get another linebacker on this team. You know how we have a tendency not to draft linebackers on this team. But so it's nice to get a new one for this team out there on the field. But like I said, overall, I think they did a very good job. I can only be so critical of Joe Schoen as far as, you know, the whole Malik Willis thing goes. I put that to bed. It is what it is. We'll see what Malik Willis does out there in Tennessee. Best of luck to him. But that's all I can really say on that subject anymore. That's it. And I know nobody else wants to hear about it. So that's basically it for the video, man. I just wanted to come out and talk about those things. And I appreciate the view as always. And thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And never miss an opportunity to punch the opposition right in the muff cabbage. Don't forget that. All right, you guys take it easy. And I'll see you in the next one.